All right, it says we are live. Hello, Dirt Truck. How are you? All right, tonight's guest is Mr. KS Gun Guy. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm living the dream as long as you don't wake me up. So it says, okay, now we're starting to get. I was going to say it was stuck on zero, and now it looks like seven. And everybody say hi out there, and we'll give you a little shout out. But yeah, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take questions, talk about guns. Not get political, none of that stuff. Everybody knows that's a train wreck right now. So, you know, we've all beat that dead horse. I do want to bring up one thing though, but we'll get into it later about our state fair issue. We got Pistol Pete in the house, but is there anything you want to start off with, KS? Is there anything particular that you want to get into?
Off the top of my head, no, I don't think so. I mean, I guess the one thing, and this is, I mean, we can't predict the future necessarily, but I'm going to be really curious to see what gun sales do over the next, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months, and then beyond, depending on what happens in a few months. So that's something that is definitely on my mind. I'll be
Yeah,
curious to see how the industry starts to react, because so far I haven't really seen that. I mean, I've seen a little bit of an uptick in people coming in and using the range,
yeah.
but only a little bit. I'd say by about 10%, maybe. So that may not be related to any current events or anything like that. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I did check with my gun store on when was it Friday? I was up there and I asked how sales were, and they said, they're okay. The gun range is packed. Of course, I mean they've got multiple lanes and it's been packed. They had a waiting list, I think, of like 40 people. The whole place was packed, and it's a big store. So I mean, that's good for them. But as far as, and I did ask her a lot of people trading in stuff, and they said, not any more than normal. And I did ask what if, since people are buying, what are they buying? And some people are getting more compact sizes, not really small ones, micros. They're getting more compacts. And of course, it's Glock. Um, stuff like that. So it's nothing that's like, hey, this gun is selling. I tried to look at the Bodyguard 2.0 because I haven't personally seen it like in my hand, and they had sold. I think they had three of them. They sold them pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
trigger bars in the house. Now, Pistol Pete has a question for you. Did you get the platypus?
I did. Follow me on Instagram. I think it's KS Gun Guy _official or something like that. But take a look out there. It's my last post. In fact, I really hadn't posted very much on Instagram for a while. Shocker. But I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. But it's out there. They did a hell of a good job. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah,
But I did, Pete. And Pete is saying so many anti-gunners bought guns during COVID, and it's still sitting in the sock drawer. I've had a couple of coworkers say the exact same thing. With everything oversold in 2020 and 2021, and so there may not be a run at all this time.
I don't really know if there's going to be. If there is, it could be ammo. I mean, that seems to be what people are loading up on. Hello, Lee. I'm just going to say hi to everybody real quick. We got Lee in the house, Floridian, Jason Fisher. How are you? Yeah, I'm glad you're back, sir. Let's see here. It looks like okay, I'm caught up. Yeah, and I don't know if Pistol Pete does Instagram. He might not. He does drive a Chevette, as he tells us every chat. So who knows?
Right.
He might not do that. And I want to make a big statement. I'm in Houston, Texas, and the traffic is freaking horrible here. Good Lord. I mean, I was just about to start ramming people today. It's like they're driving with their freaking eyes closed.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, as far as looking around, I mean, I did see, man, I will say this. I saw a couple of, and I wouldn't say they were super high end rifles. I saw a couple of kind of mid range rifles that they've had there for a while. And man, those things are just sitting. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just wondering, like we said before, the last run on guns, I'm wondering if that's where everybody loaded up on ARs and all that other stuff. And now they're just like, hey, I don't need it. But, these guns are just sitting there. Um, I've still seen a bunch of like rebates on, this particular gun, that particular gun, offering free mags in a bag, like, hey, buy our gun.
Right.
Uh, So I don't know if we're going to have some more even deeper sales, or if they might just kind of steady out. I don't know. It's going to be curious to see.
Well, I will say, depending on who wins in November, there could actually be a dramatic impact on the 2A. I mean,
Yeah.
and typically a lot of things don't come to fruition, and there's a lot of kind of fear and angst that just doesn't come true. This time, it might.
Yeah, it's it's a weird situation. Hell, a disastrous effect. Yeah, you just can't tell. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. As we get closer and closer, there could be a run on ARs. Worrying about being banned or whatever. So there could be a run on those. And if one person gets in, maybe we're good. The other people get in, we're not good. I don't know, or they're not good. I ain't worrying about shit personally. Um, either way, but you know, it is what it is. So, hello, Brian Duchesne. How are you? Oh man, Brian says M&P is giving guns away, tons of rebates. That's what I figured. That people are going to start doing that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
Pistol
are.
Pete says, Pistol Pete says I drive a Chevette and I use Instagram. So, okay. Have you been?
Nice.
Oh, Floridian's asking if you've been doing any drumming lately.
I retired in 2013, and I can't anymore anyway with this guy. So no, it caused me enough physical damage over 30 years of playing. I would never go back, to be honest with you. I had a great time doing it. I had a lot of fun experiences and everything, but by the time I was done, the 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., pack up and go home and not fall asleep because your wired thing got really old. And I'm no, I'm too old for that.
Yeah. Hello, DB. How are you doing? Yeah, Pistol Pete is stating as we get closer to the election, there will be a lot of unrest, and we will be told this is a glimpse of what to expect if Trump is elected. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
like I said, we don't want to get into a bunch of that tonight, but Lake Ozark is in the house. What I did want to say, sorry, I just got the damn hiccups. What I did want to say, and I've already let him know, I sent an email and a call just real quickly. I want to talk about this. The State Fair of Texas, if you have an LTC, you've always been able to carry in the fair. You walk up to the metal detectors, show your LTC, they walk you around, and then you can go in. Well, now, and that ground is not owned by the State Fair of Texas group, it's owned by the city of Dallas. And now they came out and said you can't carry in the fair as their little new policy. So I got a hold of Greg Abbott, his office, and called and talked to, or left messages for them, sent an email. GOA is on it now, FPC, but I found out about this, and then I guess the next day, GOA and everybody started doing this. But anyway, so if you care about that, and even if you don't live in Texas, and if you want to, squawk about it, I would definitely, let your voices be heard, because and that's the thing. If people know they can't carry in it, they're going to leave them in their car. Okay. Then your car's going to get broken into. And then there's putting guns on the street. And from where the fair is, walking in, these people are going to have tons of family, kids, everybody. That place is a shithole down there, a literal shithole. If you've ever been to the State Fair of Texas, that area is horrible. So you're going to get robbed, mugged, everything. There's no way to defend yourself going in or out. So I left all of that on the message and in the email. So, I just think it's crap, but that's just my opinion. I think we probably all have that same mindset, but and yeah, that's the point, Pistol Pete. You can boycott it and not go, but the whole thing is, yeah, I'm not going to go until they change that. And what I always went for was just the car buildings, to look at all the new cars, because I know a lot of those people, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, all that stuff. So, I want to go by and look at those. Some prototypes are there, things like that. So a lot of people that haven't experienced that, that's a cool thing to go. I don't ride the rides and do all that shit. And also for the Texas OU game, it's always played at the State Fair. So, it is what it is, but there you go. So anyway, we got Norwood in the house. We got Mike High. Hope y'all are doing well. Is there, do you want to get into your thoughts and stuff on your platypus, or do you want to wait?
Sure.
Or okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, so I picked it up what Monday, and was it Monday? What is today? Today's Wednesday. So
Yep.
last Monday.
Okay.
But anyway, no, it's fantastic. It's I've got it sitting right beside me, which is why I'm looking this way. But commander size, I did the squared off trigger guard, full dust cover or rail, I should say.
Yep.
And you'll have to check out Instagram to see the paint scheme, see if you can figure out what it's painted after. Something from our childhood, I think. But anyway, they did a phenomenal job. The fit and finish is top notch. I mean, it rides not quite like glass, but pretty damn close. I mean, I would not equate it to an Atlas, but I would certainly equate it to pretty darn close to a staccato. I mean, they really did hand fit and finish everything exactly the way it should have been done. The paint job, the guys doing the paint are just incredible artists. They really are. So yeah, it turned out well. Now I have shot it, but I've only shot it a little. I just haven't had time to really dedicate to just having kind of a session with only that gun and getting to know it a little bit better. But it shot fine. Everything seems to work very well. It's easy to clean. I was afraid the dual capture guide rod system was going to give me fits because I've never really dealt with one before. But it was super easy, not a challenge at all. So yeah, I mean, if you're patient, if you can wait 4.5, 5 months, it's worth the money. It absolutely is worth the money, especially if you have piles of Glock magazines around and you're thinking about 2011s and the thought of $80 to $120 magazines for most like staccatos and other firearms like that is just really expensive. Platypus might be a really good option.
Yeah. That's awesome, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think you can put a Dawson guide rod in it, can't you? A toolless guide rod.
There are several different options. Yes, you can.
I heard that if someone wanted to, I heard that
Right.
you could. So that's a great option. Now, just curious, and because I didn't hear you say it, but how many, just approximately, people might want to know, like guesstimation of how many rounds you have put through it so far.
20, exactly 20.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was just.
Yeah, no, I count my rounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was able to put a magazine and a couple of extra through it because I was actually at work. So I really couldn't be on the range for very long. But I was excited and I wanted to get out and just punch a few holes in paper, and it did its job just fine.
Just run 115, or was there a particular grain you picked right off the bat?
115.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
I didn't know if you ran 20 hollow point. I mean, I was just curious in case, some people might want to know. So,
yeah.
But no, that's awesome. Like I said, I think, if you have a pile of Glock mags or even 20 Glock, 10 Glock mags, whatever. I mean, I think it's a great option, especially people who are, like I've said before, who are well invested in Glocks and they're 2011 curious. I mean,
That sounds funny.
Yeah. I mean, why not? And I think they are cool. I really like the way, like you said, you can pick everything. And that's the same way I would do it. I would do commander, full dust cover, square trigger guard. I'd have it optic ready, but that's the bull barrel, and I'd have the really aggressive grip for myself. But I think that's a really great setup. So
you would not do a government. I thought you actually would do a government size.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I want. What is the government? The short one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Not the full size.
The commander is the short one. Government is the long one.
Yep. I'm having a brain fart, but yes, I would do the small one personally because I would be interested in carrying it. I don't think it. I mean, I don't think it would bother me. It's alloy frame, and I've carried many of those, but I just think it would be a cool option. And like I said, maybe later on down the road. Because it's not like I'm in a hurry for it. So maybe I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to order it, just wait on it. And, whenever it comes in, it comes in.
Right.
Let's see here. Floridian has a question for you. KS, what are you carrying these days?
365. I've been carrying a 365 for quite a while now, actually.
Okay. Yeah, and if anybody wants to know, this week I'm carrying the CZ P10C, the with the comp and the dot, the orange one. Y'all have probably seen it in the Armsman holster with the TLR7A. So really like that one. So I love CZ. People think I've gone away from it. Nope, I just like switching back and forth. Brian's asking, I've never tried this. I've seen it. Have you tried the pain tablet called Relief Factor? I know they advertise it on the TV and the radio, but I haven't tried that.
Unless I am strictly told by my doctor, I don't take any pills aside from a vitamin every day. I'm very anti-medication, and it's just and it's personal choice. I have nothing against medications. I don't want to abuse my liver or do anything like that. I mean, I'm really weird about that, so I won't even take Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything like that. Again, unless I absolutely have to. The only thing I'll do maybe occasionally is a Tums, and it's because I've eaten something that's fighting back.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah. Well, I know, Brian's had the cervical neck fusions and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I can imagine that would be a nightmare to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I totally get it.
Oh.
Let's see. Hello, Scott. How are you? Garage guys in the house. That's good to see you, sir. Let's see. But yeah, as far as, no. Scott, the Platypus does not 3D print their grip. I think that is, what's the name of that company who does that? That has Sigmags?
I don't.
Yeah,
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. And right now, I can't think of it either. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, but no, these are nice. They're milled aluminum. I mean, they're legit. So
I know. I wish I could hold it up. I can't. That sucks.
I know, you're like,
Here. We'll do this. There we go. I racked it a couple of times for everyone. How about that?
There you go. But no, they're really nice grips on the Platypus.
Yeah.
The only, I held one. It wasn't mine, but I held one. The standard grip, and I was just like, it's a little slick, So I put goon tape on it or something for me personally. But that's why I was like, man, if they come out with a tacky one and the aggressive one and the RMR cut, I'm going to buy it. And now they have it, and I'm like, So I probably will still get one. It might just be, a couple of months or something, but I probably will order one. I mean, I need to just go ahead and do it now. Yeah. So that way it can be being built. But yeah, because I've got a ton of Glock mags too.
I actually like the chain link grip, which is the original one. It is a little slicker, that is true, but I have not noticed an issue. Plus, I have the magwell, and that really locks my hand on it, so my hand doesn't go anywhere. I mean, as long as I keep a tight grip on it, it's totally fine. And yes, Pete, it is the Zapper. You are correct. That is true. Yeah. Good eye.
And when I saw it, I knew what it was. I just didn't want to say it because I didn't know if you wanted me to give it away.
I don't care. No, it's good.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Floridian's asking KS, is there one particular gun that is most asked for at your range?
If we're talking on the sales side, it would be between the 365 and then several different Canics, believe it or not. Canics are being requested more and more and more often. So those would be the two top ones. Glock would be maybe a distant third or fourth anymore, which is interesting. But then on the rental side, it's a little bit more of a plethora, but it is probably dominated 75% by carry guns, whether it's 43X, 365, and we've got, I think, 3 different models there, and then the Hellcat and all those. Now we've got a pile of Canics that we just got in for the rental side, and so they've actually seen quite a bit of use as well. So again, Canic, maybe it's the price point, maybe it's the amount of media coverage they get on YouTube. I don't know, but they're really building a name for themselves out there.
Yeah. I think it is. Hello, Pranic. How are you? I met him a couple of weeks ago, I think, and he was a good guy. So let's see. Yeah, I remember that. Pistol Pete says 22 Plinkster did over Corson as a zapper. Yeah, I remember that one way back when. Trigger Bar. I don't know if you saw PSR's video. Would you both be willing to do a music video like PSR for your true fans here? Just kidding. Thoughts on that for the gun community. I think it's hilarious, but I hear Lucas doesn't.
Yeah, Lucas would disapprove. You
Yeah,
know.
no, he disapproves of everything. But I don't know if you saw PSR's recent video. He's doing the Desert Eagle 50 cal, and he's dressed up as Deadpool, and he's got a crazy dance. And I don't know if the boy has drawers on, but he's wearing a bodysuit, and it's pretty crazy.
Nice.
But
No, I have not seen it.
yeah, I think PSR is a hoot. I mean, he's funny as hell, and he just has a good time with it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as far as Canic, I've had them in the past. When they first like hit the scene, I had one, and I did have problems with it. I had that recall on it, but you had to send it in. You had to pay to ship it there. It was like really stupid. And I'm like, what the hell? This is a joke. And I've heard some of the newer ones. I think it's the Canic TTI. There's like a lot of trigger issues. I don't personally own one. I've just seen videos, so I don't know if there's just a couple of lemons out there and they made a big deal out of it. I really don't know, but for the most part, a lot of people have them and really like them. For a budget type pistol, and TTI is not cheap, but of course Terran's getting his chunk. But yeah, I mean, they come out with a lot of crap in each one of those boxes, so you're getting kind of a lot for what you're buying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've seen any comeback for warranty service or issues or anything like that, just at a local level. So I guess that speaks okay, because we sell a fair amount, and we get a lot of them in on transfer as well. But yeah, I mean, the ones that I tested, I think I tested 3 different models. I think it was 3. Yeah, it was 3. TP9 SF, TP9 SFX, and then the Elite Combat. And I liked all 3 of them. I thought they were great guns. I had a good experience. So I have no complaints. The TTI is pretty cool. It's not my cup of tea, but I mean, I see why people like it.
And what was that one that you had that I shot? The Canic, with the dot. It was. Remember, and I told you, I said I don't think they balanced this correctly, because remember it had that rocking. It was the long one. What was that one that you had of the Canic?
Well, it would have been a TP9 SFX then, probably.
That's what it was. The SFX. I couldn't remember that number, or that nomenclature. But let's see here. Where did it go? Yeah, what do you are you getting any feedback? Brian's asking, are you getting any feedback from the Canics? From the people that rent them? Like, are they liking them? Are they, oh, it's okay? Or people doing pretty well with them?
Very positive feedback. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think usually when people, because we rent by the caliber, so you could test 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever for the same rental cost. And typically people, when they take the Canic out, that's usually their favorite or one of their favorites of whatever batch they select.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you shot, and I don't know if you have you shot the Shield Plus?
Yes.
Do you like it? I haven't ever shot a Plus.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's here. Small guns do nothing for me. I mean, I carry one because it's a tool, and it's lighter and it's easier to carry. It blends a little better. It doesn't print or anything like that on me, on my body type. But in terms of just shooting, I don't elect to shoot them unless I have to. Of course, I shoot my carry gun with some frequency, but that's it. So I don't look at a Shield Plus, even though I shot it when we got it, when they first came out, just because I wanted to get a feel for it. I mean, I try and shoot all of our rental guns at least a couple of rounds through if I can. But I don't look at those guns and say, man, I want to shoot that. I just don't.
Yeah. And I like the new M&P options, for the comp, where they've got it, cut out. I think it's kind of cool, but the aluminum one, I did put my hands on that at Texas Gun Experience, and I'm like, I don't care for that aluminum grip at all. If it were me, I would just get the polymer grip, because for one, it's too damn slick and the spots you need grip. And, it's, what is it, like an ounce or 2 heavier? I mean, it doesn't justify the price by any means, in my opinion. But I think it's cool that they are making the comp options now. Um, you know, I think it's pretty cool. Hello, M. Gabriel. How are you doing, sir? Um, Now, as far as, and then I had this question for you too. What are you seeing as far as the defensive, ammo for like pistols? Is there a brand that's kind of like, is it still the same old, basics, or is there like one where like, oh, this one's, you know, we're getting a lot of feedback on this one, or a new one that you've tried where it's like, this is superb? Have you?
No, not really. I mean, and we only carry a few. I mean, like we carry Federal HSTs, we carry a couple of different Hornady rounds, and we may occasionally have another brand periodically. But those are generally what we have in
Yeah,
stock, and then we'll carry, maybe 124 and 147 and a small variety of those. But that's it. I mean, it's a relatively small shop, so we don't have the big box shelves of ammo and that kind of inventory, and our customers don't really ask for that either.
yeah,
They really don't. I mean, we try and carry the things that are popular and successful and do well, good quality sort of thing. And so something like Federal HST or Hornady, we feel pretty good
yeah.
having those on the shelf at all times. So yeah.
Yeah, and what I've done, I've got the captain, the police captain in my area. I know him very well, and some of them can carry. They have one ammo they are recommended to carry, but they have another choice, and one is Federal HST. The other one is Spear, Gold Dot. Those are the two most popular. And here's kind of the way I've had great luck with HST. Never let me down. Never had a problem. I've talked about the Hornady with the little polymer tip in the past. I freaking it melted on my feed ramp when I was shooting a hell of a lot of rounds through it. But they supposedly changed the compound on that, so I'm sure it's fixed now. I've shied away from it personally because of that, and haven't given the new one any kind of chance because I don't want to invest the money in it. I'm highly invested in HST and Spear Gold Dot, but I kind of look at it this way: in your area, I would probably, if you have a chance to talk to a police officer or something in your area, just ask him, hey, what defensive ammo do you carry? Because if you're ever in a situation and you have to use it, and somebody says you were using HST penetrators and blah blah, it's like, hey, it's the same that the police officers in my area use. It's nothing special. And then they're like, oh, okay, we can shut down that argument. So I think that might be something to consider if people are like, I don't know what to use, I don't know what to recommend, because you remember they came out with those stupid, they were pieces of shit, those RIP ammo with the big fingers on it and all that crap back in the day. It was complete freaking garbage. Um, you know, and plus you got to make sure your gun's going to run stuff and not have a problem. But and then Floridian, is asking or stating this point, moving towards revolvers, would like to see more reviews made. Have you still dabbled in revolvers, or are you pretty much?
Yes. So I picked up a Smith & Wesson 929 not entirely too long ago. That's the Jerry Michalik
Yep. Oh,
eight,
you go. Okay.
the 8 round 9mm compensated one, and it's a hoot. It's a lot of fun to shoot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a range blinker for me, but it's got a very nice trigger. I don't like moon clips, but I've got the tools for moon clips, so it's not that big of a deal. But I'm actually, and everyone can provide their opinions on this because I'm still on the fence. I'm thinking about either a 686 competitor, which is a 6-inch barrel with the weights, the adjustable weights on it, also a performance center, or a 586 L comp. So because I want to get a 38 357. It's been a while since I've had one. I do not currently have one in the collection. So I'm weighing those options. So if anybody has any thoughts, let me know.
Well, my voice is for you to get a Korth.
Ha, okay, sure.
I think those are freaking badass. I mean, I've got revolvers, but I'm just not a huge revolver guy. But man, when I play with that thing at the store, Texas Gun Experience is a Korth dealer, and man, when I play with those, I'm just like, holy crap, these things are badass. Now they're not cheap, but they're freaking nice. Armsman is saying, Good evening, gentlemen. The Rival, in my opinion, handles better than the TTI. Seems like Terran just put his branding on it. I have the ellipses, and it looks almost identical. Yeah, that's you're paying.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're putting some cash in his pocket for sure. He's
Yep.
not just going to put his name on something. So
Hey, but you know what? You get a nice Pelican case, so back off.
yeah, I know, and it has his initials on it and all that stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, Floridian. As far as the revolvers, also, I would tune in to Harry's Holsters. He loves revolvers. I talk to him all the time. He's even bought another one. I mean, he is pumping out revolver content. So, if you're not a Harry Holster guy, I would definitely get on that. But yeah, I see a lot of people, kind of going back and forth with the revolvers, and I think some of them are getting more popular, I guess, because people are thinking, kind of revolver curious, which I don't think is a bad thing, and revolvers definitely have put a lot of people on the ground. So I mean, they do what they need to do. It's just the only problem I have with them. My eyesight is not what it used to be. So when you're looking at those little short sights, I'm like, okay, let me put my bifocals on first. I'm joking. I don't wear bifocals, or reading glasses, so I can see. I mean, that's why I've gone to dots, because my vision's just not what it used to be. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, here you go. Rabbi saying, my buddy just spent a lot of money on a custom 6.5 Creedmoor. What are some high-end off-the-shelf I could gift him? What are some high-end off-the-shelf?
Are we missing something with that sentence?
Yeah, I don't, because he bought a Creedmoor already. What are some high-end off-the-shelf? I don't know. Maybe he's talking about ammo.
Maybe.
Yeah, match. I mean, the match ammo is pretty common, and it's supposed to be really, really good. I've used it in 308, and it is, the black, what is it called? The Hornady black match or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Brian is saying, Big J, your tri-tip steaks looked amazing. Is it a tender cut? Only thought all I buy is fillets. They do like some flavor requirement. Yeah, the tri-tip was really awesome. I did tri-tip ribeyes in New York, filet. It was all amazing. Trust me, my whole family freaking loved it. So I didn't have any arguments. Yep, we ate that stuff up. Yeah, because I don't know if you know, KS, I haven't even told you, but I started the carnivore diet last Sunday, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I've been on it for 8 days now. And from the last Sunday till Monday, I weighed, and in 7 days, I've lost 14.7 pounds.
Wow.
Yep, and I'm only doing one meal a day, not hungry, drinking a crap load of water. I mean, no sweets, no nothing, no vegetables, only meat or animal proteins. And
definitely stay away from those vegetables. They're terrible for you.
I know, yeah. But anyway, and I tell you what, I have a really bad arthritis. I've had it since I was like 30, and I take Celebrex for my arthritis. And even in the morning, I'd wake up and I was real stiff, because I haven't taken the medicine because I've been asleep. Now I get up and I'm like, damn, okay. It's weird because I didn't know this. The research I've done, some fruits cause inflammation, some vegetables cause inflammation. So I'm like, holy crap, this shit's working. So pretty impressed so far. Let's see here. Yeah, I used to use HydroShock. I've used some of that back in the day too. If the tilt melts, yeah. Tumble on impact. He's talking about the tumble on impact.
The Fort Scott.
Yeah. I know you like the Fort Scott. I've tried it, but I'm shooting at paper. I haven't shot like an animal with it yet, so I don't know about that.
The 80 grain 9mm is a hoot to shoot. It is so much fun. It's a fireball. It's extremely loud, and it just is a lot of fun. And there's no recoil as long as your gun can handle it. It's a ton of fun.
Scott's saying that the Fort Scott doesn't like all magazines because of that pointy tip. It sometimes drags on the inside of the mag. I could see that happening.
True.
Oh, I've had this question before. Rich B's asking, and I've never said it verbally. Thoughts on the FN Flex? I know it's a smaller gun. Friend bought one to carry and loves it. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, it's another micro gun, so I'm in the same camp that I am with all the other ones. I like them as a tool, but I don't care for them just to shoot for the sake of shooting. But the Flex actually, it felt pretty good in the hand. I've never shot one. Felt good in the hand, and the trigger was better than a lot of the other FNs that I've tried. So I don't know. I mean, as long as it runs, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, FNs are very, very reliable guns. I've had several of them, still own them. I think they're great guns, but the FN Flex, man, that thing is way too tiny for me personally. I put my hands on it and I'm like, whoa, this would be a no go for me. But, if it fits your hands and you can shoot it, I mean, like I said, FN makes great guns. See, let me catch up a little bit.
Everyone's getting out of control here. So funny
Yeah,
stuff.
I've had this question also. Big J needs some of those Taurus revolvers that you can mount a dot on. Yeah, I've actually seen those where you mount the dot on it. I've actually seen some of those on, but now the people could have not put them on correctly. They could have not Loctited them. They could have not done the proper torque. But I have seen some of those fly off, and I don't want to be that guy. And also, Harry has had some Taurus revolvers where he was just dry firing them, and the freaking hammer snapped because it's MIM.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're all MIM parts, and I'm like, yep, that would not work for me. Not knocking them, that was just could have been, that freak thing, but I don't want the freak thing. Well, actually, M. Gabriel, it's not. Even with traveling this whole week, I've been able to do it. It's just picking places and making it work. But yeah,
basically, do you just walk in and go, I just want meat? That's it.
Well, like you can go to a Mexican restaurant, don't do the chips. You can have, like carne asada steak and grilled chicken, and it's been working out for me so far.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go to In-N-Out, if you want, and get the Flying Dutchman where it's the 2 patties with the meat on it. I saw a guy one time go and he got 6 Flying Dutchman. So that's what, 12 patties and cheese? And I'm like, man, I can't eat that freaking much. I'd barf.
Guy walked out and had a heart attack.
Yeah, I would puke. But anyway, people do shit like that too. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about earlier. Are you seeing any uptick on rifle sales, ARs, etc., at your location?
No, zero.
Yeah, and that's what I talked to Texas Gun Experience. They said the same thing. So
now,
there's not people doing the free for all like they were before.
Right. What we are seeing a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, is an uptick on stripped lowers, but that's it.
Okay. Well, and I think probably, like in the past, people are kind of grabbing a couple, just have.
Yeah.
Even myself, I think I've got 3, non-built, of course, just, the plain lower. I still have 3. I used to have like 6, but I built 3 of them out, so I still have 3 more, just in case. You never know. So I think that's reasonable. Just in case any of them shit the bed. But if you have a lot of them, I mean, already done, you can move an upper to another one. So it's not that big of a deal. Everybody's saying, all the different names, like Flex is dumb, Shield is stupid name. I mean, there are some weird names on guns. Oh, hell, look at the Platypus. That's the weirdest. I'm like, every time I see that, I love the gun, but I'm like, that is the dumbest name. But here's the thing. It makes us talk about it.
I was going to say, I disagree. I think that's the best name for a gun. I think that is absolutely, that is a genius name for a gun.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you think it would be something cool, like the Venom or, something just.
That's boring.
Yeah. But the Platypus, I mean, that's like the most crazy animal out there. You're just like, it's a freaking platypus.
Yeah.
I mean, as a matter of fact, I don't. Did they consider that a mammal? It was something weird I read about it because I was like, "What the hell did they name that?" And it's not. It's like, I guess it's a mammal, but it was something weird. I can't remember what it was. But if you Google it, because I had to Google it, I'm like, I knew what they had the bill and everything, but I'm like, what the hell is this thing? I can't remember. And I looked it up, and it was. I know it's aquatic, but it was something where it was like not a mammal or something. It's weird. Maybe it was a mammal.
It's an amalgamation of like 3 different
Yeah,
animals.
yeah. It's like the goofiest thing. So.
Yeah, Gabriel is saying egg-laying mammal, which is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, eggling. Okay, eggling mammal. Yeah, this is weird. And see, like Wendigo's saying the alien. That's kind of a cool name too. I like the alien name. It's different, but yeah. Here you go. Pistol Pete saying the penguin pistol will be the next 2011. Yeah.
Pete, that needs to be yours, man. You need to start your own company and have the Penguin 2011.
There you go. Yeah, and look, think about it this way: penguin pistol is the same as Pistol Pete. So you have PP and PP. You might be onto something.
A really weird sentence all the way around.
Saying males have venom spurs. Oh, okay, damn. The angry beaver. Yeah, that'd be funny. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of.
Scott, that was actually pretty good, man.
Yeah, angry beaver.
Because when the wife finds out, the joke tells itself.
Yeah, you could have the big teeth hanging out there. Wow. Just so y'all know, I'm not gonna. I want to kind of. I want to test it out, see where we go. I'm gonna film. Like first shots and all that other stuff. But I did pick up something. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. But I did pick up something. Y'all will probably be surprised. But picked up something and, wanted to give it a run. So I got a really good deal on it. It was actually like in the used section. But when I pulled it apart, I don't even think it's been shot. That's how clean this thing is. So I was like, yep, I'm going to grab this. So I did. And what I did is I traded in some guns that literally are just collecting dust that I didn't give a shit about. So I traded those in, got rid of them, and got this. So it was kind of an even Steven deal. But yeah, I'm just trying to move out some stuff that I really don't care about. Big J got a Sky. I've had a Sky. I had one when they first came out because I wanted to try it, and that's the biggest piece of shit ever made.
Whatever, you went back to it, it. You thought it was glorious, and you regret getting it out of your collection. You're like, God, why did I do that? I need another one.
It is a literal piece of shit. It has a little push pin in it. It's got the trigger garbage. It's like fucking 15 pounds. Excuse my language, but it's like 15 pounds. And I was shooting it rapidly or trying to shoot it rapidly, and the freaking slide actually came up. The pin broke, and it came up and just disintegrated itself after 2 mags, 3 mags. Oh, and all the pins were falling out of it. It's a piece of shit. So I do not recommend that thing at all. Save your money for sure. Let's see here. Floridian saying, KS, considering maybe jumping back into YouTube more anytime soon for videos.
I've already answered it.
What'd you say? Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Okay, this might kick it off.
Let's not get too excited.
There's still hope.
The only thing is the time component has not changed. That's the only problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could shorten them up. First shot. You could simplify it. You know that. Do it, KS. See, look at that, man.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah. Enabler.
Oh, I like Brian's idea. This would be a great name. The Hairy Beaver.
Oh, my goodness.
That could be the old, what is it, the 80s muff? Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah.
Just got this is my new gun, the Carpet. That's it.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. The Shag. You could call it the Shag. Yeah. I tell you what, those are freaking great guns. Have you ever shot an Accuracy X?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, they're similar to an MPA. Matter of fact, the MPA the plates that go on the MPA, they're made by Accuracy X. They just license them. But Accuracy X, those 2011s, the double stack 1911s, they are legit guns. They're really, really nice.
I'm looking at the high cap 2011 right now, the Pro, or maybe it's the Pro H1 high cap. That actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they are nice guns. I shot an older, I think it was one of their like original. This guy had one at Texas Gun Experience that was shooting beside me, and he was like, "Hey, dude, is that a MPA?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Hey, man, you mind if I shoot it?" And I was like, "No, here we go, shoot it." And I noticed he was shooting a 2011, but I was looking at it, and I was like, I didn't recognize it. And he goes, "Oh, this is an Accuracy X." And I was like, "Oh," he said, "it was one of their earlier models." And so he's like, "You want to shoot it?" I said, "Sure, man." And it was a very nice gun. I only put a mag through it, but still, it was a nice gun.
Nice.
I don't know the longevity, but he said he had it for a while and never had a problem. So I'm assuming.
Right.
Lee, they already have the mullet. That's the 19X.
True.
It was actually originally the FNS9, but that was before the Glock 19X. But yeah, I definitely like the Accuracy X.
What's the price point on these things? 5,000? Yeah, about $5,000.
Yeah, I thought they were like 40. Well, this was back when I looked at them after I had shot his. I looked at them. I thought they were like 4,400, 4,500. So.
Well, the H1 high cap 2011 it tops out at $5,095.
Okay. Yeah, he had That's expensive. Yeah, I was gonna say, but they're, like I said, they're quality. They're really nice. Floridian is saying, "What's the nice bottle collection that you have behind you? What do you got over there that you can drink?"
It's all bourbon. Actually, one of my family members has cystic fibrosis. That's not the funny part of the conversation. But my family started an event called the Shoot for the Cure 22 years ago now. So it's a shotgun event, sporting clay event, charity fundraising thing. And there's a dinner that goes along with it. Well, there's a silent auction, oftentimes that's the case for charity events. And so there's a guy that's been coming to these events for quite a while who has an incredible bourbon collection. And he has started donating small lots, like 5 bottles of bourbon, various bourbons. And 2 or 3 of those sets each year. And so I actually won 2 of the 3 sets this year. So got some Blantons and some Eagle Rare and some like a single barrel Riegers and some various things like that. So it was a good pickup. But the stuff you're seeing right now, that's like the stuff that I won't really touch in the collections. Yeah. There's some really good bottles of Penelope and Blantons and stuff like that. So I don't mess with that stuff.
That's for me when I come see you again.
Yeah, no, I've got some Kentucky Gentleman for you. It's waiting.
I've drank that shit before. Yeah, it's really not that bad. But
hey, I've upgraded. So my house bourbon is Jim Beam now. Okay. So I've gone very classy now.
Okay. Yeah, I've got some Eagle Rare. I like Eagle Rare. It's made by the same Blanton's distillery. But yeah, it's good stuff. And then Blanton's is pretty good. And of course Buffalo Trace. They're all in the same group, so they're good stuff.
There's a lot of Buffalo Trace on the second shelf. You can't see it.
Buffalo Trace.
I do like it quite a bit.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace is my go-to. I mean, it's not crazy priced or anything, but that's definitely my go-to.
I think Woodford is my go-to. That's my favorite, and the Double Oaked is probably my favorite bourbon of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had when I went and saw my boss, he had some Pappies. It was and this is the crazy story. Back in the day, I could buy Pappies. I'm talking the basic Pappies, not the Reserve and all that, but I could get the basic Pappies for freaking like $40, $50 a bottle. It was crazy. Now that same damn bottle is like $300 or $400, and it's just basic. And I'm just like, but anyway, he had some of the Pappies like gold or something. This thing was like $750 a bottle. And he goes, "Hey, you want a shot?" And I go, "I want more than a couple. I want more than shots." But
Yeah.
yeah, and I liked it, but I was like, "Okay, is this worth 750?" I'm like, I don't know, but it was good, and I appreciated it. Let's see here. I'd buy a spoon 2011. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, who wouldn't?
yeah, yeah. What about I've only tried one Japanese whiskey. Have you tried any Japanese whiskeys?
I have. And actually I've got again, I can't see it. It's right now it's on the floor because I have not put it anywhere yet, but it's I want to say it's like Kentucky Owl or something like that.
Okay,
Sounds worse than it is, but apparently it's a very good Japanese whiskey.
okay.
But I've had one and I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I've only had, I don't even remember the name of it. It was a long time ago. I had it in Vegas. It was some high end Japanese whiskey. And I was like, oh, yeah, it was good. I mean, no big deal. I couldn't honestly tell the difference. Pistol Pete says he likes Wild Irish Rose. I don't know if I've ever had that.
I'm not familiar with that either.
No, I never tried that.
We should have a bourbon chat at some point. That would be fun.
Oh, man, I'm a bourbon whiskey freak. Um, and oh yeah, here we go. Scott's bringing the heat here. Mad Dog 2020.
I remember many a stupid night back when I was about 18 years old with Mad Dog 2020. And it was usually like purple or green or whatever. And the same stuff that went down would always come back up.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They had the what was it? The strawberry, the knee
Oh,
high grape. They had like four flavor peach. They had like big. They were known for their four flavors, but also remember Strawberry Hill, which was not Mad Dog.
Boone's Farm.
Yep, I remember Boone's Farm, and then Purple Passion.
Oh yeah, Purple Passion.
Came in a freaking 2 liter. Oh, for like $4 or $6 or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. And Bartles and James. I mean, I think that was our gateway drug at about 17 years old was wine coolers. God, we thought we were so cool. And Zima. Zima was a big thing too.
Zima was huge, man.
Oh yeah.
And then they came out with the what was that other shit they came out with? It was
Smirnoff Ice.
Smirnoff Ice. That's the one, Ice. Oh my god. When it came out, it was like, oh, you want an ice? You want an ice? I was like, taste that shit. I was like, this is freaking garbage.
I can't believe we're talking about this rather than guns.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of like this. A lot of gun guys, they might
like to drink too.
Yeah, they might drink beer, whiskey, wine. I got a gun friend of mine. He's like a wine freak. He's kind of snooty, and then but he does like bourbon too.
Yeah.
But it is there. Ooh, damn. What is he doing? Skittles and Zima. I've never had that.
Oh yeah, we used to do grenadine in Zima just to give it some flavor because otherwise it tasted like ass.
Now I had something sometime. I can't remember what the hell the liquor was. Was it what's that shit? They had it in peach. It was a liquor. Oh, remember peach schnapps?
Well, of course.
Okay, all right, but it wasn't the peach. It was just the schnapps. And somebody used to put Starburst. You'd put like 3 Starburst, the same flavor, like strawberry or whatever, and then you'd pour schnapps on it and let it kind of melt. And people used to drink that shit. And somebody gave me a drink of it, and I was like, that is freaking horrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Ooh, Pistol Pete's putting my feet to the fire. Current favorite pistol you have in your collection? Ooh, well, I mean, damn.
It's that Sky you're about to pick up.
Yeah, no shit. I'm not, screw that. If I have to pick one for like, say, target accuracy, something like that, it would probably be my MPA DS9 hybrid, the big one. That thing is just a freaking tack driver. Not that I'm a bullseye shooter, but it's a damn nice gun. I really enjoy my staccatos. And then for most of my carry guns, honestly, y'all know I'm not a Glock guy, but I actually really do like my Glock 19X with the Radian ramjet. I really do like it, and I'm not even a Glock guy. It shoots really good for me. And of course, I love my, P10Cs and things like that. But to say if I have to pick one, but I couldn't, it's big. I've carried it before, but it's just a monster. It'd probably be the MPA DS9. I mean, it's just, you know, it's a freaking tack driver.
Nice.
Not that I'm a tack driver guy. I'm not trying to say I'm a pro shooter because I'm not. So, but yeah, it does shoot really good.
Scott is saying, always got the peppermint super schnapps for New Year's. Now the smell of it just makes me nauseous. I will tell you, I'm still a fan of Rumplemints coming out of the
Oh
freezer.
God, I was just fixing to say that.
It's got to be out of the freezer, but I love Rumplemints. I don't like all the other ones. I mean, Goldschlager's fine, but I don't like the rest of those. But Rumplemints is dreamy to me.
Okay.
I love it. Minty. I like minty things. That's a big deal.
You probably smoke freaking menthol cigarettes.
Oh God, no! Oh
Yeah.
hell no! I have tried them. They are horrifying.
Okay.
They're awful.
Remember the story that I told you when we went? You took me to the bar for burgers. It was that bar that you like to go to. It's like a pub or whatever.
Talk of the town. Is that where we had those spicy wings that were stupid?
Yeah. Okay. I think it was that. But anyway, I told you a story about a guy that I worked with in Kansas City. I used to work there. Like when I would go down and see him, that's when I would see you. He went into that same bar. I took him there and I was like, hey, you can have food, you can have beer, whatever, drinks, and I'll pay for it. We set up at that bar and I told you this story. He freaking loves Rumplemint. And that bar sells it and it's cold, like you said.
Yeah.
He sat there and drank. I don't know how the hell he did it. He sat there and drank like freaking 12 shots of that shit.
Oh, geez.
And I had to pay for that trash. I hate that shit. He's like, here, you got to have one. You got to have one with me. And I took a sip. And I was like, this is fucking mouthwash. Excuse my language, but yeah. So he's a Rumplemint freak, and he lives right there in your freaking town.
Well, we have to represent. That's how we do it.
So it must be a KC thing because I'm like, why, Brad? Why are you drinking this shit? And he goes, oh man, I drink it forever. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, Disastrous Effect saying he kept brandy in the deer stand to stay warm.
There you go. You go. Speaking of, well, Disastrous is asking how far from Kansas City is your shop? So, I mean, we're still in the metro Kansas City area on the Kansas side. But like from downtown, it's probably 25 minutes away, but Kansas City is a really spread out city. It's not it's a major city, but it's very spread out. So, going from one end of town to another will take you almost an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's like freaking Houston it's a big place.
Yeah, it's really wide. So so I'm on the Kansas side, and I'm pretty far south of downtown.
Yeah, Disastrous is saying he's in Weston. What's the name?
Well, and Weston is one of my favorite places to visit. In fact, I was there. Excuse me, maybe 3 weeks ago. We go to the Irish shop there, the liquor store in the back. It's a wonderful liquor store, and the owners are super nice. So we go there and hang out with them, about every 2 or 3 months, and really enjoy it. Weston's a neat town. And then we eat at a little place called the Avalon restaurant. Fantastic. Their burger for lunch is just slamming.
Wow. Yeah. Do you want to tell the name of your shop?
Centerfire Shooting Sports in Olathe. Now I'm away from that. My home is, but yeah, the shop is in Olathe.
Yeah. 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 He said he's been there since 2010.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I used to travel that area, Missouri, and all that stuff too. So I'm familiar with a lot of those areas, not every part of it though. But yeah, it's a cool area. Anything that, is there anything that's catching your eye that you're like, hey, I'm kind of looking at this, or, anything like that you can think about?
Maybe Keith. We'll see what happens. Even though I'm not a big sports ball guy, but I would like to see the hometown win again. That's always good, and I actually do mean that. So as I was stating before, the next thing would be the revolver. It's the only, probably the last gun I'll buy this year. I'm kind of between the platypus and I actually am getting back into a staccato. I ordered a P with a 3-pound or 3.5 pound trigger because I had gotten rid of all my staccatos a couple of years ago and kind of miss having a staccato around. So anyway, did that. And then I'm trying to decide between that 586 L comp and the 686 competitor. And after that, I'm out. That's it. I'm just going to enjoy shooting, and that'll be the end of it.
Did you get the Staccato Heritage, or did you just get the standard?
Oh, God, no, just a standard. I don't. No.
Okay, I was just curious because a lot of people do like the Heritage, and I actually, of course, I'm in the DFW area, so I do pull for the Cowboys, but they're a freaking train wreck. So, and I've always pulled for the Chiefs because of Mahomes, with Texas Tech backing, so that's cool. But yeah, hopefully he kills it again this year. I'm really hoping he does. I mean, he's a great quarterback, so hopefully they can get it together and do it again. Any reviews to come on the M&P metal? Not for me. I ain't buying it. I've already played around with it, and I'm not a fan of the metal one. What about you?
Well, probably not any reviews on it, but no, I've handled a couple. I would like to handle the new. I guess it's kind of maybe a compact size or kind of a Glock 19 size metal one. That'd be fun to see, but I really don't have an interest in that. If I'm going to get a metal gun, it's probably going to be single action only or double action single action. It's probably not going to be a metal striker fired gun. I don't have anything against them. It's just not what I would prefer if I'm going to be spending that kind of money.
Hey, look, here's our redheaded brother. Oh, never mind. He doesn't have hair.
You are missed, sir. I hope things are going well.
Yeah, he's on a family trip. That's awesome, man. I saw your pictures where you got to go to PSA. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pistol Pete says he wants the Shadow 3 when it drops. I haven't heard of the Shadow. Have you heard anything that it's coming?
Well, it's the one that's coming before the Shadow 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then, I guess the Shadow 5 will follow after that. Right. Man, I still can't believe that they haven't dropped the new supposed P10, that was coming. That, man, I really, really hope Colt is just not going to drive them in the freaking dirt like they did.
Probably will.
And I'm just like, good Lord, this is horrible. Let's see here. Here we go. I've handled the new Shadow 2 Compact, and I would probably actually get this Easy Custom SDP instead. Yeah, the
what's the SDP?
Is that the CZ Custom version? I think is that what that one is?
I'm looking right now. Custom SDP. CZ Custom, yeah, that's exactly what it is. The PO1 SDP, yeah.
I have shot that. It was not mine. I think Humble had borrowed it from somebody, and I shot it. It's a very nice gun. The only thing, just in my opinion, it's the older frame. Kind of like the original Shadow one. That it's kind of that older style frame. It's a great gun, but I don't think it's the new. Yeah, it's not the Shadow 2 compact frame. It's the original one, but it's a nice gun. It shoots really nice.
Yeah.
And 17 saying they're advertising a full FDE P10C. Is it a new one or is it just color? They freaking colored it, maybe.
Right, probably.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Some say optic ready PO7 and PO9. They're discontinuing those, so I seriously doubt that's. I've heard that those are going away completely, so I wouldn't think it would be that.
Oh well.
But whatever. I mean, I like the PO7. I like the PO9. They're great guns. Some people don't, but I do. Oh, okay. 17 saying it's the same old, just in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Here in a moment, I am going to need to roll, just so you
Yeah,
know.
no problem. Oh yeah, we're a little bit over.
Yep.
All right. Anything coming up on your channel? More reviews?
Tons
Yeah.
of things. They're all
You,
coming out Saturday morning.
you
Pay
got them
attention.
yeah, you got them already lined up, ready to release. Yeah. No, I would like to see you do some reviews, even if it's periodically, once a month, something like that. If you throw something out, maybe even going through the collection that you currently have, just saying, hey, here's what I'm into now. I think people would kind of like to see that, as far as a refresher. Or here's what KS is into now. I think that'd be pretty cool,
You never know.
since you've been off the tubes for a while.
You never
But
know.
yeah, and then like I said, I'm gonna shoot the new one that I got. I'm gonna shoot it quite a bit, kind of play around with it, but I'll film everything and I'll just release those, and then I'll give an update or something. I want to see what I think about it for sure. I already do have some stuff coming in for it that I want to review because one of the things that came in the box, and I'll go ahead and let this out of the bag. I won't say exactly what it is, but one of the things that came in the box is the biggest piece of shit that I have ever put on a gun, and it's freaking horrible. And I'm definitely going to let you know about it because I would never buy that. And it goes on the gun, and it is an absolute piece of shit. So I don't want you to spend your money on it. So, but we will get into that later. Soon, hopefully. It won't be that long, but probably a week or two for sure. But anyway, so it's always a pleasure to have you on here. And, we couldn't have our bald brother on here, but, we'll try to do this again soon. And any final words or anything of encouragement or enlightenment?
No, just everyone have a great rest of your week. Be safe. Have a good weekend. All that kind of good stuff. Stay cool unless you like it warm, in which case, stay warm.
Yeah, there you go. Pistol Pete saying that sounds like a rave review on an absolute piece of shit. No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a good review. Trust me. And I'm going to have the receipts, so don't worry about that. But yeah, no, I've just got some stuff and I already have some more stuff filmed. YouTube did pull down or would not release one of my videos. I even tried to put it up 3 more times. They won't do it. So I don't know what the hell their deal is on that one. So I guess it's not going to come up. But I do have some more in the pipeline that are already ready to go, that are already filmed. So I'll be throwing those up too. Probably Friday I'll throw one up. But and you might like it, you might not. But anyway, so yeah, it's always a great time to have everyone on here. I appreciate y'all. Have a great evening. And remember, an armed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, KS. Hang on and we'll let them go.
We'll see you.
Have a great night, everybody.